Well, hello there, Cancer. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today, this is a bonus reading. We're just going to see what messages come out for you. This is good for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and really has no time limit on it. So whenever you find this message, it is meant for you. So today, we're going to take a look at the overall energies with the Oracle cards, and then we'll move to the Tarot for some more details. So let's take a look. Let's see what we have on the horizon for you. Hummingbird spirit, be here now and protected by angels. Yes. Okay, there's kind of interesting because we just had the summer solstice begin yesterday, or it was on yesterday. This energy where I feel as if there's something that you're kind of waiting on, perhaps even kind of like mulling over in your head, trying to figure out like what direction to go in next. And you know, with stepping into the summer season here in the northern hemisphere, or the winter season in the southern hemisphere, there's this situation where we've changed seasons, right? And in the readings, there's been a lot of energy too about closing out chapters in our life, really embracing something new. I think you're trying to embrace this beautiful new beginning in something, okay? And it could be in your career, a relationship, or just a sense of a mindset of, I want change in my life, right? But trying to step into that energy and having a little bit of a difficulty because there's something that you're trying to close out. It's about taking a look at just what is in front of you at this time. It's almost like I feel like your angels are saying, Cancer, the answer is right in front of you. Like you don't have to go flitting around like a hummingbird trying to find the answer. The answer is right there in front of you. You know, this is interesting, you know, I read once that if you've lost something and can't find it, right, to just that it's 18 inches, within 18 inches of where you had it last. And I always, like, so if it's on a table, maybe it's dropped to the floor or something like that. But to go back to the last place where you remember having it and then, searching 18 inches within that area. It's so interesting that they're bringing that up because I feel as if I don't feel like you've lost something, right? But it's almost as if you're searching for the answer for something, and yet at the same time, it's kind of like right in front of you. You could be looking, asking advice from people in your life, right? Or looking on the internet, or just, talking to your spirit guides, talking to your angels. But it's almost as if the answer is there. You could be trying to have downloads come in and stuff, and yet at the same time, it's almost as if you're not listening, right? It's a sense of almost blocking. Are you blocking for some reason the beginning of something new in your life? Yeah, I feel like there is something, you have professional assistance, and then interesting, you have be a light to others, but it's in the reverse, right? So it's almost as if you cannot step into your true light, sharing your love and light out into the world. There's some assistance that you need. And it could be, that you need some professional assistance, like maybe a financial advisor or a counselor, a therapist, a doctor, a dentist. And there's something, right, that maybe you need in order to step into sharing your love and light in a very confident way, stepping into this energy of, I know who I am. I know the direction that I'm going in, right? And I can step into this energy of really and truly sharing my light. Look at this. I feel like you have lost something, okay? But you're kind of like missing the old chapter, but it's time to step into this new chapter where new supportive connections will be. I honestly feel this professional assistance is the key to this, and for some of you it could mean that you need some assistance from a professional. I think that this is really and truly stepping into this energy of asking your guides, your angels, for this assistance. It's literally about praying for whatever, that is kind of an interesting thing, just you have to, in order to manifest something, or even manifest a closure in something, because I feel like you're having a hard time stepping into this new energy because you're still trying to finish out, close out, figure out why something ended, or is it over, or whatever this energy is, like concentrating on something that you may have lost. So it's about stepping into this energy. What is it that you would like, Cancer, in this situation? And then literally asking your guides and angels for help, for assistance in this. Praying, putting it out loud, speaking it out loud to your guides, your angels, to the universe, to God, whoever you may pray to. It's about stepping into that energy of, yes, this is what I want. Because I feel as if, there's something here, and it could just mean that you just need that validation from the spirit realm that, yes, it's time to close this out. This could be, a relationship, a job, a career, something. There's almost a little bit of regret, a sense of regret or guilt or shame about how something maybe went down. And it doesn't mean that you've done something wrong, Cancer. It just means, okay, this didn't end in a fashion where you got the closure or you understood the situation enough to be able to move on. And so there's part of you that is still trying to process this, because you have joy, family, and present power. Discovering the joy again in either your life or in a situation that has been troubling you for some time. It's about looking really deeply and seeing the golden nugget in this situation, the lesson. The golden nugget is the lesson that maybe you or the person or persons you're dealing with, just rediscovering, the kind of the golden nugget in this. Now, once again, it doesn't mean that you have to reconcile with somebody. Yeah, you have the Five of Swords. Lots of regrets. The Five of Swords is regrets about the past, right? And you see that shadowy figure in the past. It's the regrets of, the way that we acted or reacted. It's the sense of the things that you wish you had said or didn't say. It's kind of like, it can even be like, it's interesting because Libra had a very similar reading. This is not a situation that happened last week or even last year. I feel like this is something that happened years ago, okay? Perhaps even from your childhood. There's this sense that, you have some sense of shame or guilt or regret about how things played out. Perhaps your part in it, we all play a part in every situation, even the choices that you made, maybe even the choice of somebody that you married or somebody that you didn't marry or something like that, right? It's kind of like taking a look at that and asking yourself, okay, we can't go back in time and do things differently, right? Maybe sometime we'll have a time machine and we can do that. It's about, if this is coming up, I feel like it's because, if you're resonating, it's because you're at the end of a cycle. This is like the last little bit of clearing something out so that you can embrace the new. But your guides are kind of like keeping you present. They're a hummingbird when it's sucking the nectar out of a flower, right? It's like suspended in air, okay? And I have hummingbirds where I live, and they're just so fascinating, right? They just are suspended. It's like such a beautiful miracle to watch. And so I feel like you're being suspended. Your angels are kind of like, Cancer, we're putting you on hold. You are being suspended. We want you to take another look at this situation. So it's not about, okay, I can't go back and change this situation. Okay, I can't change the choice. I can't change the way I acted or reacted. I can't change the other person. I can't change anything about it. Okay, granted, we'll radically accept that we can't change it. But it is about taking a look at what did you learn because you experienced this difficult situation, right? Okay, if this is a relationship that you wish you had never started, right? It's first of all about looking at, okay, what were the good things in the relationship? Because there's probably something there. But then it's also about going back and when you first met that person, right? You first got into that relationship. What red flags came up that you excused away, right? Or that you kind of like subconsciously maybe even said, oh, well, that's okay. That's not that important to me. But in the end, it really was, right? Or it's taking a look at, what boundaries did you allow this person to cross that you today would not allow a person, either this person or somebody new, to cross. Like you've learned something on the way. And that's why I feel like this is an old energy. This isn't last year. This is 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 30 years ago, right? That this person came into your life. And that they may have left your life, okay, recently, like in the last, year or 5 years. They may have left your life recently. But it's about taking a look at, you are not the same person you were when this person came into your life or this situation came into your life. Recognizing first that you have personally grown. You have done a lot of work. You are not the same person that you were. So it's recognizing that, discovering, okay, I went through this situation. Yes, there was some difficult situations. Perhaps I'm not, that's why I feel like these feelings of shame or guilt or regret are coming up, because it's about, okay, but the thing to understand, Cancer, is that you're not the same person that you were when this situation or relationship came into your life. So as you move forward, as these new connections come into your life, it's about taking a look at, okay, what red flags did I disallow back then? Right? That now it's kind of like, okay, how am I going to handle it differently when a red flag pops up? Right? And really, perhaps even writing these things down. What experiences in this relationship do you not want to experience again? What did you allow this person, okay? What boundaries did you allow this person to cross? Or what did you allow? What behaviors or patterns did you allow in this relationship that you're not going to allow as you move forward? It's that discovering that nugget. Because here's the thing, is that when you take the time to really kind of sit down, and for some of you, you may have even been working with a counselor or a therapist on this, right? When you allow yourself to sit down and really kind of mull that over and also mull over the fact that you are not the same person that you were when you made the choices you did way back when, right? It's kind of like it gives you the confidence. It allows you to step into your power because you recognize, I'm not that same person. I am someone new. And I love that energy. That energy has kind of been coming up. And I feel like part of it is we have the summer solstice, part of it is we have the new moon in Gemini. There are new things that we want to do. And yet at the same time, concern that we may repeat patterns or choices that we made in the past are preventing us from stepping into this true joy that is waiting for us on the other side. Wow, beautiful. And yes, look at this. Oh my goodness. Hierophant, King of Swords, King of Wands. Three of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. I'm going to take that. I'm also taking this Page of Swords. I feel like you may be getting a message, and I feel like, once again, this is maybe a romantic relationship, but I think that it is family, definitely perhaps family oriented, or romantic, somebody that maybe you were married to, okay? It's taking another look at this situation because we have the two kings here, the King of Swords and the King of Passion. King of Swords is very much, what is right and what is wrong, kind of like cut and dry, right? Everything's black and white to the King of Swords. It's very analytical. Somebody that stands up for what he or she feels is right. And the King of Wands is somebody that is very motivated, very inspired to go in the direction that their heart is calling them to. This is being up in your head. This is following your heart. And I feel like part of it is that you've had to kind of learn how to balance. The King of Swords can be very straightforward, Sometimes the words are not tactful. Sometimes the words are just very cut and dry. The King of Wands, on the other hand, is very inspirational. Can get people to follow him or her. It's the energy here. It's understanding. Okay, I'm coming into an energy of I see things clearly. I see how I made choices in the past. But I also understand that I'm going forward with more knowledge, with more wisdom, right? With the Hierophant there. I've learned what is really, what I am passionate about, what values I really instill in myself that are important to me, the boundaries that I want to set. So I can go out into the world with a lot of passion, but I'm very clear cut about what my boundaries are. What I allow, what I don't allow, right? Stepping into this energy of seeing things, having passion for life, and yet at the same time understanding you've built healthy boundaries so that you can see things clearly. I think in the past, whenever this situation came in, you could have gotten caught up in the passion, right? You could have gotten caught up in the whirlwind of romance or just, enjoying life, but your core values or perhaps your boundaries, okay, were not clear cut to you. You had to go through that situation to figure out what is truly important to you. Now, I love the Three of Wands here because the Two of Wands is listening to other people, right? That's first our parents. Then we go to school and it's our teachers. Then we start kind of going out into the world and it can be our peers. So it's understanding you gained a lot of insight from other people in your life, but now it's time to choose what is important to you. It's no longer what's important to your parents, to your teachers, or even your peers. It's standing on your own and understanding what brings me passion, what brings me joy, what gets me sparked and inspired to follow my purpose and step onto my path. And at the same time, having these clear-cut kind of boundaries, expectations for what I want in relationships. And when you do that, right, you can truly speak your truth. I think in the past, you kind of wavered. You allowed people to either toy with your heart or take advantage of you. You may have been over giving in your relationships because you had a hard time knowing, discerning, is where are my boundaries and where are they not? So let's take a look at the tarot. Yeah, you have the Death card. You're transforming. That's why this is coming up again. Okay, if you're resonating with this and you have any shame or guilt or feelings of regret, right? It's not necessarily like a dark night of the soul. It's just kind of like this is bubbling up for you to take a look at one more time. It's not about spending a lot of time rehashing this, right? It's kind of like, okay, what of this is different for me now? Because as you turn into this new world and you bring in these new connections, it's about getting crystal clear with yourself about what it is that you will and will not allow in these new supportive connections, right? Understanding you have transformed. Because I feel like there's part of you that is not moving forward towards new connections because you're just concerned, okay, that you're going to repeat some patterns. You could have repeated and had several relationships that were toxic or narcissistic or third parties or something like that. And it's time for you to break that pattern. It's time to say, okay, I'm at the 10, I'm done. I've learned that lesson. But it's almost as if you don't recognize that you've really learned that lesson. And the only way you can learn it is to kind of like go back and ask yourself, okay, what were some of those red flags that I dismissed? What were some of those times where that person or persons crossed those healthy boundaries that you didn't speak up for yourself? That you didn't say, well, wait a minute, that doesn't fly for me. Right? It's understanding you're a different person. Yeah. Bring love into the situation. I feel like you're playing it safe in the area of relationships, whether this is family, friend, or romantic. You've kind of been playing it safe because there's almost, I don't want to repeat these patterns. I don't want to have to relive a difficult ending or conflict in my relationships. So it's about bringing love to the situation, bringing love for you. That's allowing yourself grace, allowing yourself to understand you're not the same person that you were in the past. You have evolved. You've put a lot of time and effort into your evolution, into your personal growth. And also recognizing, okay, yes, if I could go back in time and I had the knowledge that I have now, I would play this differently, right? You definitely would. You would play it differently. But it's not about going back and changing things, right? It's kind of just recognizing, yeah, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, I'm not the same person I was. I think that that's all Spirit wants you to recognize, is that you're not the same person. You have completed a cycle. It is time for you to step out and into the world of love again. Yeah, your loved ones are safe. You are safe because you have learned this lesson. You don't have to play it safe anymore. So let's take a look at your area of resistance or your obstacle. Yeah, you're not willing to go in a new direction. You're not willing to kind of understand the difference. You know, it's kind of like, it may help, Cancer, to take a look, okay, at whenever this happened. It could have been 2008 when Pluto first moved into Capricorn. Take a look back, okay, on some situation that is still kind of playing in your energy, even though it has ended. Take a look at that and ask yourself, get really kind of honest with yourself about what red flags, what situations did you allow in this relationship, right? That led to the demise, the pain in that relationship. Okay. Now, granted, there was a lot of good still in this relationship. It wasn't all bad, but it's understanding, okay, yes. And then make a column. Have the experience, who you were then, how you handled it, and how you would handle it today. Because I feel like it's almost like you need almost like a cheat sheet about how to handle situations as you move forward. So that when you get caught up in the passion, you can say, okay, wait a minute, calm down. Let me go to my cheat sheet and figure out how I'm going to, what are my boundaries? Where am I allowing this person in? How quickly am I allowing them in? Right? Sometimes it's not about blocking people. We don't want to block people, but we allow ourselves to let them into our world and at maybe just a slower pace than you let this person in. Yeah, step out of your comfort zone because, here's the thing. If you continue to play it safe, right, and not share yourself, share your loving self with others, okay, you're never going to have the joy that is really and truly meant for you in this lifetime. And I feel like you're coming into that energy of accepting that, because it's kind of like, yes, I'm keeping myself safe, but I'm also not having joy in my life. And I feel like when we have a difficult ending, right, we go into perhaps a hermit energy where we don't allow people into our life. We have to do that healing. You've done the healing. It is now time for you to step out of the healing phase and back into the energy of bringing joy back into your life, knowing that you are ready. Knowing that you are ready. Yeah, put your creative energy into action. Your creative energy is just bringing joy to the situations, right? Not fearing what might happen. Instead, having confidence, having that sense of power that you are in control of, in control of kind of like your having the confidence to know that you can handle any situation that comes on your path, that you can have these conversations. The King of Swords can have a very clear conversation. This is my boundary, not crossing it, being very specific about how you're going to approach things. It doesn't mean that you're not having fun on the path, but it could mean that to break the pattern, you also have to have some like strategy or plan. The King of Wands doesn't have a strategy or plan. He just goes with his heart, right? He has this sense of passion, and that could have been the downfall in the past. It's about, okay, I'm going to have a little bit of a plan here. I'm going to come back to what is important to me and continue to ask myself, right, those important questions. Do I see a red flag? Or if a red flag pops up, how am I going to handle that? Doesn't mean that you cut and run. It means you have a conversation. I think in the past you may have cut and run, but now you're understanding, no, wait a minute. It's just about having a conversation with that person. This is really important to me. This is the reason it's important. I would like for you to respect this boundary because this is important to me. And if they're testing your boundaries, then yes, you're leaving. But you first have a conversation. So let's take a look at what your advice is. Yeah, 9 of Cups. What is it that your heart is really, truly desiring? Because I feel like you're, in a way, you're kind of cutting it off. You're kind of like, no, we've been hurt before. Let's stay safe, right? But then the truth is that there is no joy. So now any true joy, the joy of, experiencing true love in your life. A new start is coming, peace, and increase your knowledge. Yeah, increase your knowledge, I think, is you increasing your knowledge, your confidence, right? Knowledge gives us the confidence. In fact, I think it says that on here. No, take a course, pick up a book, or find a mentor to teach you what your soul longs to know. I think, honestly, it's just that your soul, your heart, wants to know. It's kind of like your soul wants to know that it's learned this lesson. It has learned this lesson. And I feel like perhaps just journaling about it, writing it down on paper will help to solidify that, yes, I'm not the same person. I'm coming into this so much wiser, right, for this past experience. And then you have a new start coming and peace. I feel like for some of you, if this is a family situation, I think you're understanding that this situation can transform perhaps because, and you could be even getting a message from somebody in your family or somebody that is associated with this, but it's kind of like you're understanding that you are not the same. You have transformed. So if it is somebody from the past, I'm not saying you have to reconcile, but there is this energy where you can come into the situation seeing things on a different level than you did in the past. Yeah, really interesting. If you have Libra in your chart, I feel like you're reassessing, okay, things that maybe you have walked away from or didn't walk towards, right? Did not walk towards your 9 of Cups, trying to keep yourself safe. And now it's kind of like, okay, where does my heart want to go? Now I feel like you're really ready to no longer stay safe, but go in the direction that your heart is longing to go. If your heart is calling you to go back to some type of situation, especially like a family situation, it's about taking a look at understanding, okay? And especially if it's been a long time. I feel like it's taking a look at how you are different, knowing that this situation is no longer what it used to be. Yeah, I feel, wow. If it's a family situation, I think there's a good chance that this situation can be healed, that it's almost like coming full circle. It's being able to, Page of Swords, once again, you could be receiving a message from this person, or even if it's a past romantic connection, okay? Somebody may be wanting a fresh start. You may be wanting to say no. You may be wanting to block it because you're remembering what happened in the past. But it is also, and this came up in the Libra energy too, it's also about recognizing that I think it's been a very long time since this person was in your life. So it's kind of like allowing them the grace to have also transformed, understanding you're not the same person if you decide to have a conversation with this person, right? You're not the same person. You're coming into this in a new light and allowing them to have the grace to have also transformed, because you have the Death card. It's if you feel like this is a twin flame connection, there's a good chance, you separated some time ago. Twin flames have to separate for a while to evolve, to do their own personal growth, and then they can come back together. For some of you, if it's a twin flame connection or a strong family connection or romantic connection, it could be time that you're coming back together, you're healing. Now, if it's an abusive relationship, right? I mean, that's totally different. But there could have been a toxicity as far as codependency or a lack of communication in this relationship or something like that. Something that could be worked on. Something that if you put the time and energy into it, it could be healed, right? And that's the type of relationship that is here. It's something that can be transformed, and there is this opening, there's a true opening that this could possibly be transformed. If it's not something that's coming back together, it is time for you to bring new romantic love into your life, right? Or new connections, at least new connections, and no longer playing it safe, trying to protect your heart. All right, well, Cancer, let's pull a soul truth card for you. And I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. How can I be more kind to myself and offer more grace in this very moment? Interesting. I am almost positive that Libra had the same card. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. Growing our self-love is medicine to this world's broken heart. When you heal, we all heal. When you give yourself more grace, you are able to give the world more grace. Yes. And I feel like that's why, if you're resonating, this is coming up. This energy of feeling guilt, shame, regret for something that happened in the past. Just your part of it. You didn't do it all, Cancer. There were other people involved, right? But having some negative energy about this. This is the reason it's coming back up, because it is an opportunity to heal it. There is the Wheel of Fortune is something that is destined, blessing being bestowed upon you, because I feel like you've done your work, right? You are ready to heal this situation. And, for some of you, you could be reaching out, but for a lot of you, I feel like this person might be reaching out to you, wanting a fresh start. The Ace of Wands is wanting a fresh start. And it is something, look, coming out of, like a gift from God. See how the hand is coming out of the cloud? Something that is destined. A message that is destined. I think that if you're resonating with this, you could be receiving a message and it's kind of like, don't completely dismiss it. And I think for some of you, you might be like wanting to block it. But the truth of the matter is that in good conversation, okay, a lot can be healed in this situation if both parties have done their work. Wow, beautiful energy. I just love that healing energy because, when we allow ourselves to heal a connection like this, we really do send out that healing energy to the collective. And for some reason, I feel like there is this calling to heal, to bring love to situations instead of a sense of, negative energy around it. Wow, beautiful energy. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I do appreciate all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Much love and light to you. Bye for now.